Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Cups and Cakes Vinyl Unveil, the show where we try to get you excited about physical mediums of music, not just that streaming stuff out there. Yes, this is the show where we try to get you to maybe make some purchases and help support some of the Canadian independent artists that are out there doing their thing and creating some great art. I figure this is perhaps one of the best episodes I could do to convince you that maybe picking things up in their physical form is worth it. That's right. This one, as you can see right here, Eric's Trip, a remastered version of their classic EP. This EP was first released in 1992 on Murder Records and featured 6 songs. The songs were Need, Listen, Tangles, Haze, Happens All the Time, and Deeper. And the story of this EP, I'll just dive into that while I'm kind of showing it off. In the spring of 1992, Eric's Trip, they already had a 3-song recording session with Terry Pulliam in the tank for their first 7-inch. And while they were waiting for its release, they were preparing another full-length indie cassette album. They were recording on 4-track at Chris Thompson's parents' house, and by July they had 10 new songs ready to go. And that was when an offer sort of came through from Sloan. Sloan was starting a brand new label called Murder Records, and they wanted Eric's Trip to put out an EP, a CD EP. So after the offer, Rick White decided that he wanted to re-record some of the 10 songs because he wasn't happy with the drums. Let's look here. So Listen and Happens All the Time were redone completely. Need and Haze were remixed with some new tracks. So those 4 were chosen, and along with them, a song off of the Warm Girl cassette called Tangles, and then also an acoustic song that Julie and Rick did called Deeper. Some of the leftover tunes from that summer have appeared on singles and compilation releases over the years. Some in their original form, and then others like Smother and Float were done in a re-recorded form. So let's take a look here. I'll continue the story here while we look at the inner sleeve. All the versions here are from the original 1992 recordings, but they're newly remixed from the master 4-track tapes. Also found on this sort of collection of that era for Eric's Trip are the 3 songs that were done with Terry Pulliam in March prior to the Peter sessions. And I think they have those listed as tracks 9 through 11. So right here, Belong, Redhead Girl, and What I Meant would be those ones that the 3 that were done before they actually recorded these ones. The 10 meant for here. So as always, Rick White went through the archive, grabbed everything, remastered it all, and there's kind of like a fun little note with this. For the diehard Eric's Trip fans might want to know about this. So apparently Rick was always upset about the original version being 1 semitone down in pitch. He believes that there might have been a pitch difference between the tape he sent in and the decks used when they were mastering the EP. So on this remastered release, Rick has finally been able to fix this, and all the songs in this collection are now in the proper pitch. So here we are. We're looking at the vinyl now. Wow, that is really cool. One side's definitely a lot more orange, and then they kind of have the black over on this side with the orange fading through. Pretty cool effect on that. And then let's take a quick look at the label here. And look for that matrix runout code for you. Try to see it right there. Stamped. right there. And then there's another little portion to it right here, also stamped. And then side B, label. And looks to me like we've got the same code, just with B in there. So unfortunately, this is already sold out online, but they did have distribution for it. So I would check in with your local record store to see if they still have any copies. And if you have no luck going that route, they are doing a small repress with new units expected to become available in the next few months. So check in regularly with Blue Frog Recordings. I know there is a download code here. Check in regularly with Blue Frog Recordings. I will have a link to that website in the description here. And also Eric's Trip's social media has actually been doing a pretty good job with updates on where they're at, and I'm sure once they have the new repress in, they will have that posted. One other thing I wanted to mention about that download, it comes with 3 additional songs that are not actually found on this version here. It is the first take versions of Happens and Listens, and then also the first demo of Need, which was recorded outdoors with Rick and Julie. So there's a little bonus there if you pick up the vinyl and get the download code that way. Thank you so much for tuning in. This one has been a treat. I got to learn a lot about this particular album as I was researching it, and obviously Eric's Trip is one of the most iconic Canadian bands perhaps of all time. They are one that needs to be on any music fan's radar, whether you're just a Canadian music fan or a music fan in general. One of the best, one of the greatest, and I thank you so much for taking the time to check out this remastered pressing of Peter. We'll be back next week with another Canadian LP. Thank you so much for tuning in.